Welcome. I'm Dr. Arnold Narenberg. The title of today's presentation is Our Expectations Can Destroy Us. Our expectations can destroy us. Even given that title resonated when I've asked a number of people, what do you think of that title? They go, yeah. So there's some kind of intuitive validity. People say, yeah, I know my expectations can destroy me. Now, of course, we're going to talk what we can do about it, or what does that mean in the context. It'll be very interesting right now. I tell people I can make 3 promises to you. 3. That's for you, for me, for all of us. Throughout eternity, this has been going on. We will suffer. You're going to suffer. I'm going to suffer. Absolutely. A lot. Now, a lot of that suffering we bring on ourselves. Some of it's through our expectations, and through many aspects as well where we co-create our suffering. And the world co-creates and delivers that. We will suffer. Number 2, I promise you, you can deal honorably with that suffering. You can deal totally honorably with that suffering, 100%, with the honor system that I'm going to present to you. And number 3, you will know much joy and happiness in your lives. You will know much joy and happiness within your lives. I can promise you those 3. We're going to suffer, we can deal honorably with it, and we're going to have much joy and happiness in life. Now, one of the sources of the suffering are expectations that we have of others. Now, our expectations of others goes based on 2 major factors, many factors, but 2 major ones. 1, I give, I expect. What I do, I expect from others. So you're generous, you expect others to be generous. You're loyal, you expect others to be loyal. You're honest, you expect others to be honest. That's the expectation. That expectation can destroy you. Absolutely destroy you. I'm 80 years old. I've been in clinical practice in the state of California, licensed in California for over 46 years, and been in the field for over 50 years. My observations are these. 95% of the people are not capable of really giving trust. People may look that way, but deep down, 95% of people can't even give that trust. 95% of the people can't truly give real respect. They may look that way in social situations or in social media, or you meet them at a party, but you get to know them very well, you find really they can't really give it when things get down to the nitty-gritty. They're not capable of giving that respect. 95% of the people are really deficient in having appreciation and gratitude. Most people, you could do a million things for them, and believe me, there'll be very little gratitude, if at all. People are emotionally, spiritually disabled for the most part, 95%. 95% of the people cannot give loyalty. It's not like people don't want to give it, they just can't give it. They're emotionally disabled. So we're having an issue with trust, appreciation, and gratitude, respect, and loyalty. You've already seen that. But what many people didn't know is just how pervasive that is. And it's done by as we do, we expect. That's number 1, what sets us up for pain and suffering. The other one is we grew up in a household with a certain way of interacting with our siblings, and we saw our parents interacting. We expect that when we get married, we have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. We expect that based on childhood experiences. Those are 2 main sources, not the only ones by any means, but the 2 biggest ones are those. So the key is, if you're a generous person, or a giving person, or a loyal person, that's great, but you don't expect others to have that towards you. People don't understand what honor is. Now, for those, many of you who are watching this don't have the capability to give that, because 95% don't, so I know 95% of you won't have it. So the key is to develop this in yourself where you can truly appreciate and have gratitude, where you really give true respect and loyalty and capable of making a decision to trust a lot of people can't give trust. And that just damages everything. They're very suspicious. There are many people who literally trust no one. And they think that's a virtue. They say they were raised either that way, or they've been betrayed and hurt enough in life, where they make a decision. I don't trust anyone. So when you have that kind of context of lack of trust, appreciation, respect, and loyalty, a lot of issues. The approach to overcoming all that is to live with honor. And I'm defining honor as loyalty to your highest constructive values as enshrined in the 4 commandments of honor while striving to cause no harm emotionally or physically. And I've talked many lectures about the 4 commandments of honor, the bridge, the supremacy of honor code, plenty of materials on that. So let's take even a parent-child relationship. A lot of parents are going through this. They've done so much. I've known parents who've done so much for their children, gave their lives. They support the children, clothed them, housed them, fed them, always were there for them emotionally. And the children grow up, they go on their own, and they hardly even contact their parents. There's not that gratitude to the parent, or even the respect. So you'd be surprised how many children would just tell the parent off and just talk terribly to a father or a mother. It's rampant. So we're seeing it manifest in a parent-child relationship in our society. And then, of course, once the respect's not there towards the parent, then that carries over to all the institutions of society and the laws of God itself. The main problem we're having in our educational system is not funding. You can throw $1 billion at a school and it doesn't mean they're going to get the first-rate education. You could have a leaky roof and no computers and the children get a great education if they respect the teacher. That's often lacking. Why? Because they didn't respect their parents. The parents, so if a child, so that's the start of childhood where you tell your child, if your child is disrespected, you say, that's not acceptable, I'm your father. Or this is going to be the consequence from that, or that's not acceptable, I'm your mother. And both parents have to be in on that. If one tolerates and the other doesn't, that's going to leave a problem. Child disrespects you, then they're going to disrespect themselves because you're internalized within them. And of course, as I said, they'll disrespect the laws of society, the institutions of society, the laws of God itself. So now as we follow the way of honor, as loyalty to your highest constructive values as enshrined in the 4 commandments of honor, while striving to cause no harm emotionally and physically, as we follow that path of honor, that's the son of honor. The emanations have come from that of respect, loyalty, appreciation, and trust with wisdom. You may not, if you see somebody that's had you got some red flags. So it's trust. It's good to trust, but using wisdom. Not to just come in mistrusting, but to have wisdom on how you conduct your business and who you tell what to. Our expectations can destroy us. So so how many parents suffer because their children neglect them, have no gratitude, and don't show proper respect? And the problem is, the parent says, gee, I fed you, I clothed you, I sacrificed my life for you, and then this is how you treat me. So they're expecting, because they did all that, that expectation will destroy the parent. And many of you are parents. I'm a parent. We're destroyed by that. The child might just say, you know what, I didn't ask to be born into this world. You did what you did. I don't owe you anything. I mean, they may not feel bound by our idea of their obligation to us as parents. And I would say in our society kind of encourages that. The special duty and respect and obligation to the parent. It's not in our society at this time, with very devastating effects. Then, of course, you don't have it with the parent-child. You may have somebody be married to somebody, or a boyfriend or girlfriend, who at a party is just so lovely and nice. At home, you're not seeing the respect. How many people that I know, personally and professionally as a psychologist, sacrifice their lives? I know many of my people drive a truck. They have no lives. They make good money. They have no life. They work. Go to work early in the morning, come back late at night, have a little dinner, go to sleep, same thing over again next day. Sacrificing their lives. How many of you think have a spouse that appreciate that? Maybe 5%. How many of you think have children say, gee, Dad, you're working so hard to support us, so we can survive. So grateful to you, Dad. Thanks. Thanks for paying the mortgage, paying the lights, getting us cars. How common is that at this time? Maybe 5% or less. That's a disaster. Now, of course, then what happens? The father, the mother feel unappreciated. They don't feel respected. That expectation causes pain. So the attitude we want to cultivate is we give what we give, and what comes, what the universe brings or what that person brings to us, that's beautiful. We give to the world, and we don't expect the world to give to us. That's the way of honor. We bring what we have because that's what we do, because we're following the path of honor. We're disciples of honor or devotees of honor, which I talk about many, many times in the videos. What a disciple of honor is, what a devotee of honor is, what the pledge to become a disciple of honor, what the pledge is to become a devotee of honor, and what the bridge is between honor and reality, so to maximize the opportunity of applying this knowledge. It's all there in the videos. Well, I'm Dr. Arnold Narenberg, a licensed clinical psychologist for over 47 years. I've walked upon this earth for over 80 years. I'm going to open it up for some questions and comments. Alicia, anything you want to say or ask?
No, I just want to thank you. I think you put things into perspective in a great way that it just kind of makes me think, like, you don't want to put so many expectations on people, or like to set yourself up for a disappointment.
Exactly. Exactly. That disappointment is crushing. And also we can't even judge the people. Most of the time it's not even their fault that they don't trust or can't give loyalty and respect and appreciation. It's because of their genetics, their family upbringing, societal norms, and maybe some bad decisions that they made. It's like they're disabled. It's like a blind man, and you expect him to guide you through the forest. He can't do it. He can't see. So there's no sense of being upset with these people, because it's just not in them to give. They're emotionally and spiritually disabled. Once you realize that, you don't take it personally, because the worst thing is to take it personally. We have to realize it's not about us. Nothing personal. They just don't have it to give. Once you come to that, you can be more at peace. Does it eliminate all the suffering? No. It eliminates a lot of it. What are your thoughts about what I'm saying, Alicia?
I agree. I think I could have saved myself so many heartaches in the past in taking things personal, because I didn't look at it under this light or perspective.
Well, the older I get, the more I understand the truth of what I'm saying. I started catching on to it, really catching on in my late 70s. Now I want to pass it on to you younger people, so you don't have to wait that long to understand it. It's just not in the people to give it. So we need to have compassion for them, not have that expectation where we get so disappointed and hurt and feel betrayed that they just can't give it. Many people have not had a role model. I mean, you look at what's going on in society with the celebrities and whatnot. I mean, they don't manifest that. They're rich, they're good looking and successful and financial, whatever. But is that being portrayed in athletics or any of the major celebrities or on politics? Very, very, very rarely, extremely rarely. And most people didn't see it at home. Maybe 5%. And it doesn't matter. You might think, oh, this person talks about God and they talk about spiritual things. Even that doesn't matter. It's easy to have an expectation. Somebody talks about virtue, God, and honor. You think, oh, this is a person that really has my values. This is a person to be loyal. I'm going to trust this person. No. Some of the people who've done the worst things are big God talkers. You have some people who talk about God are very sincere, but a lot of them, I mean, a lot of God talkers talk about it all the time, will stab you in the back. And you can't even go by what they're saying. That private character takes a long time to understand in another person. And so if you're in a relationship you get hurt, you get hurt, you get hurt. They say, wait a minute, I guess this person can't give that appreciation. This person can't give the respect. It's not in him or not in her. They're spiritually and emotionally disabled. I want you to know that. Most people are spiritually and emotionally disabled. It's not for us to judge them because only God truly knows us and only God can judge us. We can't judge one another. We can just say, okay, I'm not going to expect this. I'm not going to destroy myself by my expectations. It's not in this person to give it. It's nothing personal. Anybody else? Very good comments. Very good comments, Alicia. Excellent. Anybody else have any comments or questions that you want to state?
Well, how do we deal with being disappointed?
Oh. Yeah, how do we deal with being disappointed is the question. The only way to deal with being disappointed is to try to always minimize. One of the commandments of honor is I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. So when you get disappointed, 99% of the times we've co-created it. How do we co-create it? We had an expectation. Our expectations will cause us pain. I'm disappointed because I expected more from you. Well, there's the answer. That person maybe didn't meet it. Most likely wasn't even capable of it. And so we expected more than they could do. Let me tell you something. Most people won't even keep their word. They say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'll show up at some time. They're not going to show up. They're not going to do it. That's at least 95% of the people. So you have to why you say, well, some people say they're going to do things. You say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You're not a cynic. You just say, well, I don't want to get disappointed. When you do it, I'll believe it. So the way to deal with disappointment is to reduce your expectations. And then especially if somebody's done it once or twice, you got to say, well, you know what? I can't expect that from this person. I love this person. I enjoy the person's company, but I can't really expect too much because it's not in them. So that's a very good question. And then, of course, the other one was you feel disappointed. You want to. One of the 4 commandments of honor is I wish you well. You go, I wish you well. So disappointed. I feel crushed. I wish you well. And it's not personal. It's not about me. It's nothing personal. So you want to go, it's not about me, nothing personal. I wish you well. That's following the path of honor. It's not about me, nothing personal is one of the 25 laws of honor. And I wish you well is one of the 4 commandments of honor. Very good question. Any other comments or questions you want to make about that? Feel free.
I mean, it's pretty, I guess, personally for me, it is pretty difficult, I guess, to kind of not have expectations when I feel like I'm the kind of person that is very giving. So
that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. We're giving, so we expect others to be giving. It's a beautiful thing to be giving. That generosity, you have a beautiful heart. It's a beautiful thing to be giving. At some point, you have to say, I don't expect others to be that way. I don't expect it. You might have done, and again, you look at the parent-child relationship. They've been giving, and then give some more. The child, won't even take the garbage out, or you need them for something. They're not even going to do it. It's just right now in our society, one of my main destiny is to bring honor into the world with the whole honor movement. And then most of my people have taken the pledge to be disciples of honor and devotees of honor, and they're bringing honor into their families and into themselves, to ourselves first. Now, a giving person, yes, as you give, so you expect. My recommendation is to give and then don't expect, to the extent that you can. But if you do expect and you get disappointed, say, well, I co-created by expecting this and it's just not in them. I wish you well. Nothing personal. It's not about me. That's just how that person is. They can't do it. If you're able to follow this, if you're not able to follow it, don't worry. You'll go through enough pain where someday you will be able to follow it, because these expectations will kill us. Eventually you say, oh, that's enough. Now, you'll find some people in life who really follow the way of honor and, that will keep to their word, will be honorable towards you in every way. Very rare, less than 5%. Very, very rare. Such people exist. Very rare. Very good question. Very good comments. Any other question or comment you want to make about this?
Hi, this is Clara.
Hey, Clara.
Yeah. So, in a long line with the giving, when you give so much to a point you have nothing more to give, what do you do?
Well, it's a good thing. Clara's saying, if you give so much and you have nothing left to give, we always have something left to give, but people get to feel used. You say, I'm starting to feel used and abused, so I'm just going to need to stop doing this. When people get to feel used or exploited, after a while you say, well, that's enough. I've done all I can for you. I need to not be doing that right now. People reach a point where they reach a limit and say, I feel used and exploited, and that's it. A little bit is all right, but enough's enough. And to do it and just wish the person well, not take it personally. Most likely that person's done it to many, many other people. It's not just you or me. That's pretty common. So it's not about me, nothing personal. I wish you well. And this is a very common feeling people get when they give a lot. After a while, they go, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. It's a very good question. Anything else you want to say about that, Clara?
So, does that mean that to me, the way whenever I get to this state, when I was thinking, I said, oh my God, am I expecting something? Is that why I can't give anymore because I'm not getting what I...
Well, of course, you give, and you say, hey, there's got to be a certain amount of reciprocity. A certain amount. You're not a bookkeeper keeping track. I did this for you, and I expect that. I keep. We're not bookkeepers keeping track. But after a while, it gets so out of line. You start to feel exploited. And if you're being exploited, it's really bad for you, bad for the relationship, and it's bad for the person to be doing it. That person's dishonoring himself or herself by letting this go on. It's just bad. It's better all around to stop it from happening. It's not only better for you, better for the relationship, because you're going to get to resent the person. It's better for the relationship, and it's better for that person to be stopped. Because the longer it goes on, the more dishonorable that person is. It's just bad karma for that person. Absolutely. Very good concerns that you have. Well, it's been my pleasure to present to you our expectations can destroy us.